Hello creatives, and welcome to Cat's Creations live on Sunday night, where tonight we're going to be using the trending color for 2022, which if you didn't know it, is Periwinkle or purple. So that is going to be our main central color for this design. We're using this 10-inch round from Personalize It by Pam. You can grab this sign on her Etsy shop. And while you're there, tell her Kat said hi and that she sent you over there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're using a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. It has 6 sections. So I'm going to show you how we're going to wire the last section, which is pretty much how I did all the other. And people always ask me, why do I use colored pipe cleaners? It just looks nicer. There's no real rhyme or reason. But inside of each section, you're going to take one pipe cleaner, wire together the 2 innermost rings, and then you're going to use this and the weld to find a middle point for your second pipe cleaner, which we're doing purple right here. And then we're going to go ahead and correspond with an orange over here. That way it gives us 6 on the inside, 12 on the outside for a grand total of 18. Now, if this is your first time joining us, I'd like to welcome you and let us know where you're from. We're going to be using this purple fabric mesh. You can get this from Crinkle Designs, and to find their website, it's just going to be crinkledesigns.us. And we're doing 20-inch pieces all the way around. Ruffling, which is just bring your fabric mesh towards you. Now, fabric mesh you cannot cut with a wood burning tool. You're going to have to use a rotary cutter. We're just going to lay this right on the inside and give it a couple twists, just like so. And I'm trying to think if I'm going to, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove these as I go around. So we're just going to snip them and then tuck that in. I'm only cutting out the 6 on the inside though. And then I'm just going to do the very next pipe cleaner I come to. So we're going to do this 17 more times all the way around the outside. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. We're still trying to find some cooler weather here in California. It's been really super hot where we live. We've had about 104-degree days for quite a while. So the outside ones I'm just going to move my pipe cleaners to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and do the very next one. So this will be starting that outside one in the section. So it'll go inside to the middle, outside. And I always put my finished edges towards the center, towards the bottom, because it will only fray where it is cut. So we want to kind of minimize how much we're playing with that mesh. So we're going to make sure these are open for our ribbon tails and embellishments as we move around the design. Okay, I'm gonna go all.
And the mesh is cut to 20 inches.
Lay this right inside. Now remember, the center ones, this mesh is only creating a filler for the 2 outside ones. It also fills the gap in the center for us. So we always want to make sure that we tuck that under the outside pieces, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add the second outside piece in that section. Right in here. So I am choosing to use a pretty heavy purple palette for this. I am going to pop it with some rust colored oranges that I think will make it look really amazing. And hopefully pull that whole palette together that Pam put together in the sign. So it does have some fall leaves, bunch of different color flowers. So really you could go with any color palette you want. You could go with the golds, you could go browns, you can go burgundy would be a nice one too. But then you've got that border which says purple. So you've got to find a way to incorporate that a bit. So I do get a lot of my inspiration from the signs that I use. Gotta make sure we cover those so we got good coverage on both sides. Trying to get my live up. There we go. Minimize that. I think people are finalizing the last of their summer plans before school begins. The last couple weekends of summer are upon us.
Sure, so they carried in the motorhome on the way to Quest, New Mexico. What happened?
Oh, nice. Are you on vacation? Is that why you're heading out? Can't wait to see this design because it's always a concept in your head until you put it all together. Okay, back to the outside, right in here. Now I chose to use what I would call a dull. It's like you're either going to get shiny or dull. So I'm not using any metallic mesh in here. I wanted it just a very matte, I guess matte would be another word, for the colors. I didn't want like shiny glitter. So that you have those different color shades, tones, without all the shinies. And fabric is my favorite. Let's take this one through. Okay, and we just want to make sure we've got full coverage with the one superseding it. And I just always try to move my pipe cleaners out of the way when I'm finished. This is a really sturdy, thick mesh. So the coverage is going to be really well. As you can tell, it's covering the frame nice. Even where I've kind of cut my pipe cleaners off in the center, it's hard to see the orange. Cheryl said her favorite mesh is fabric as well. I just like it. It's softer. It'll be interesting. I haven't done a weathering experiment on fabric mesh. Matter of fact, we might need to do another experiment to see how long some of the new mesh lasts. We did one back in 2018 to 2019, and we tested a whole bunch of different kinds of mesh, different methods, different ribbons. We did lights versus darks to see, like, you know, what if you did this technique versus this technique, would it last longer? And I can tell you that red will always fade the quickest. So it has a tendency of turning almost a pink color. then all of your darker colors will over the lighter. So if you're looking for something that doesn't fade much, opt for a lighter color mesh. Spraying it with UV protectant will help it fade slower, but it'll still fade nonetheless. Anything left outside will. Oop, and I cut my pipe cleaner right there. I didn't mean to. So I'm going to go ahead and just run that right back through here. Then we're good. Okay. Did you guys catch that? Probably not.
Wait for them to respond.
Okay, back to the inside. Back under. Remember, we always pull our outside ones over the center ones. Couple more pieces, and then we're mixing up the design for the outside. We're going to try a little variation.
Gail said Alex starts school tomorrow.
Does he really?
Kathy said school starts tomorrow for her too.
Oh.
Cheryl said, yeah, she was on vacation. Pam said her kids have been in school since last week, and boy, is it hot here.
I'll bet. Sometimes it's beneficial, you know, to be in school. You don't have to deal with being outside where it's hot. But who wants to be in school?
Pam said, I thought you were going to put the sign of the bow where you cut that pipe cleaner up.
Oh, no. Because I still want to keep it consistent all the way around. Even if I was to put the bow over the top, I'd still leave the pipe cleaner there. Okay, last 4 pieces. Let's get these in. 2 twists. Okay, and then we've got our orange up in the top. Not fond of these particular orange pipe cleaners. They're kind of a little wobbly. They're very thin, not like what I'm used to using. I'm not sure where I got them. And then we're going to take our outside, bring our outside over the top. And this purple on camera looks much more vivid than it does here. It's more like grape. And when I look over at my tablet, it's very fluorescent purple. I can promise you it's not fluorescent purple.
You can try to change the color.
You can just leave it. It's more like the color in our sign, purple. But even that, when I'm looking at it, still looks a little fluorescent. But you can mix it up. You can go like light shades of purple, dark shades of purple, because you have the dark, the light, kind of a medium, almost a plum. And we're going to drop this last one right in this pocket. And then we'll fluff it and get this one all ready. So there we go, very thick, full base. These scissors feel like they're gonna fall apart. Okay, So by mixing it up, we're gonna take this purple and white 14-inch ribbon cut to 14-inch pieces. We're also going to add the pumpkins on the cream. So this way we're taking some of those oranges, some of the rust colors, a little bit of the cream, and blending those. We're gonna put the purple on purple, and then the orange. Actually, I think I'm gonna mix that up. I think I'm gonna put the purple on the orange, and then we're gonna put the orange on the purple. So 2 twists, fan that back outside. We're gonna go all the way around, alternating this pattern. So I just felt like we needed to add a little bit of pumpkins to make it feel more like a fall wreath and not just like a purple floral wreath. The ribbon, the purple with the polka dot, where is that from, Steve?
Craft Outlet.
Craft Outlet. And then the pumpkins on the cream.
It is also Craft Outlet.
Craft Outlet for both. Okay, I just wanted to double check because I don't have, I have the pumpkin ribbon next to me. I don't have the purple and the white right within reach. So always right to the center of our pipe cleaner and then fan those out. You can decide if you'd rather have more purple on it on the outside or more orange. I think I'm going to go with the orange on the top. Right on the inside. Yeah, this is what I mean by putting the orange on top. It's helpful if you go around after you put your deco mesh in and put your pipe cleaners vertically so that they're like little hands, so that when you come around with your ribbon, you can just lay them right inside. That'll just make your wreath making process go quicker. Back underneath. Okay, pop those. We'll do our up and down. So I'm going to make sure that my mesh matches right underneath and make sure this one is right down on top. So they fill that gap up and down, up and down. Okay, purple. And our cream. It's weird how...
Deborah, no, the sign is from Personalize It By Pam on Etsy. LB said, "Hello, Kathy. Purple is my favorite color. Same with Kat."
Yes, I love purple.
Hi, Kathy.
I was just getting ready to say that they don't really have like a purple fall ribbon. Like nobody makes, you know, like a purple and orange plaid, like a fall plaid. And then we'll put our orange on top. Last one. And then we're gonna go around on the pumpkin ribbon only. And we are going to add in a double bow. So I have 1.5 inches in the purple and white stripe, and then just the 1.5 inches of purple. Both of them are cut to 19-inch pieces. We're gonna make double bows, which is just 2 half bows put together. So it's dovetailed edges together, come up about 2 inches. You're gonna pinch that in, hold it, get your next ribbon ready. Same thing. You're gonna crisscross them, and then that is going right inside.
Diane's a gorgeous purple color.
Thank you, Diane. And then we're gonna take that little tail, tuck it directly behind, and then we're gonna open this one up, and we are going to flip, because you always got a right side one. So we have this over here, and then we're going to open this. So this is what I call a double bow. Means it has 2 tails on each side, alternating colors, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and actually remove my orange from here. So when you do double bows, it's generally not advised to do double bows on both because they will run into each other's space. So we'll go ahead and remove this. Tuck this back down inside. Do the same thing, but I did the stripe on the right. Now I'm going to do the stripe on the left. We're going to crisscross and then lay that right inside. Couple twists just to make sure it doesn't come undone. Tuck this all the way behind, and then go ahead and open the loop. Right side our tail. Do the same here. Open that loop. Just like so. So I'm just making real subtle shifts. Let's remove all the orange so I don't see these. Do this one. Let's go back. Finish these. So now we're going stripe on the right. Right on the inside. These are like one of the subtle things that you can do to make it different that maybe the customer will notice, maybe they won't. But it's just a nice little shift. This one just will not, doesn't want to stay over here.
Well, Carla, that was a while ago. She said, how did your daughter's dog come out of surgery? She's doing good.
Yeah, she did really well.
Yeah, she did good. It took her a little while to recover, but she's totally back up to normal now. I think she's just regrown that hair.
Yeah, from the surgery being shaved. Yeah.
So thank you for asking and remembering.
Yeah, Penny. Who would have ever thought?
Sorry, I just came on. Do you have the sign? Now the sign is from Personalize It by Pam.
Yeah, I don't sell the signs.
Right.
So yeah, this is from Pam, who is the shop owner at Personalize It by Pam.
She'll ship it right to you if you order it.
Okay.
God is good. Yes, Carla.
Okay, we're shifting this to the left. Or actually to the right. To the right. And then one more. Open. I was just trying to put that little twist in this ribbon. Just like so. Okay. One more to the left. Right inside. Open, open, twist, same thing here.
I can never get my ribbon to stay once I turn it to the right side. Any suggestions?
Make sure that you have really thick ribbon. If you're working with a satin, you're always going to have an issue where it doesn't want to do what it wants to do. So when you're buying your ribbon, make sure that you're pulling, like if it's wrapped up in the cellophane, you pull it out from the side and just feel, you know, how thick is that? How thick is your wire that's going around the outside so that it will help hold its shape. Okay, so now we're going to start with our bow. So I'm using our Bow Dabra and we're doing all 1.5 inches on this one. So we are going to be using a rust with white stitching. Here's our purple and our purple. And then we're going to do this gingham because up in the sign we have this gingham purple and white ribbon. And then we're going to come in with a solid rust. And then we're going to finish with this purple kind of pumpkin on cream color to kind of tie those pumpkin themes back in. So now I'm just sorting out my ribbon and deciding what colors do I want where. So I think I want this one here, and then this, and my purple. I think I'm liking that color palette here, this finishing that off. So I'll grab these. So we're gonna do this striped. So we're doing the same recipe. Doesn't really ever change, except that we're using all 1.5 inches here. Dovetail cut is wired edges together, cutting from the fold to the wired point.
Wow, those colors are going to be interesting. Good choices.
Well, there's the reason why they go well together. It's because they're complementary colors opposite each other on the color wheel. Kind of like how red goes good with green, purple goes good with orange, and blue goes good with yellow, I believe. So we are doing, I need these. I think I might change this formula up just a touch. I might do 2 5-inch because this particular ribbon does not have an awful lot of strength to garner a 5.5-inch loop. And I think it would just be really floppy. See, this is right at 5 and I'm still feeling like it's a little too long. So we're gonna do 2 at 5 inches. So it'll be ribbon 1 and ribbon 2 will be the exact same. There's 1. This one will be a 9.5-inch tail, still with a 5-inch loop. So 9.5 inches, we gather, pinch, place right in the center. Then go ahead and remember we've done the bottom one at 5 inches. So we're going to put our fingers in, give it a twist. Do the same thing over here. Do a nice twist. But we still need to make sure we're at 9.5 inches. Dovetail the ends. And this rust with the white stripe is from Kringle Designs. Okay. I think I mixed those up. I think I meant to grab these ones. Yes, we are. So I'm gonna move these. So I'm gonna take this one out. I'm gonna do a solid rust because I didn't want 2 solids at the front. So let's change this. So 9.5 inches. Okay. Up and around. Make sure our loops are both 5 inches. And this rust colored solid is from Craft Outlet. And then back out to 9.5. Okay, then we're going the gingham.
She's always found it easier when she uses the Deborah, instead of messing with the roll of ribbon, it's easier for her to just turn the Deborah.
What I found is it prevents me from tangling my ribbon.
Right.
So that was just something that evolved in my ribbon making. See, rather than doing it this way and then pulling it and then having to bring it back over here, it's like, then it's back in my way. So I just found if I flip it and just do everything on the left, it's not that I'm left-handed, it just keeps my ribbon from not being in my way. So we're gonna do 4.5 inches on this one. So we gotta make sure we get the precedent of the size. And then back out to 9 inches. This ribbon is really thin. Like the material on the ribbon is pretty thin. So I wanna make sure I have a nice clean edge on it. This purple gingham is from Burton & Burton. They are a wholesale company. So they sold their ribbon in bigger lots. So this is a 20-yard spool. They don't always sell them in 20 yards, but okay. So now we are integrating this. So we'll just have to trim it down. This is 8.5. Yes, I was trying to think. 8.5, and then it's gonna be the same. The loop size is gonna be both 4.5. Just like that. Bring it around, measure and pull, back out here, and what did I say, we're at 8.5. So we didn't waste that much ribbon, just a little bit. Okay, now we've got our solid purple. This one's going to be 8 inches once we dovetail the end for the tail length. So 8 inches in, twist. I like using the rust colored orange over the bright orange. And remember, we want 4-inch loops. And I'm trying to make my twist a clean twist, meaning there's no like little pinch or pucker right at the ribbon side. Four inches, see, like right there, perfect twist. And then back out to 8 inches.
Terry said I'm a lefty for some weird reason. I seem to not rotate it correctly. Weird.
You know,
just have to figure it out. Keep practicing.
Just kind of figure out what works well for you. In all honesty, I don't know when that just suddenly happened, because I used to do it the same way, you know, trying to pull my ribbon over, and then I had ribbon over here, but my roll was over here. So I just found by moving my Bodabra, I could keep my ribbon from getting all twisted. Okay, so this is what I was saying. It's a horizontal design. So we want to make sure that we keep the pattern going the same without splicing the ribbon together. So you're going to build it outside. So we're going to go 7.5 inches in, and I'm just pinching, and then I'm going to go back to my start line. I know I want 3.5-inch loops, so I'm going to pinch at 7, and then I'm going to go all the way back to the start, pinch at 7. I'm going to loop. I'm just going to hold that briefly. Going to go all the way back out to 7.5, which is right about there. Okay, now let me think. Pinch it in. And then I need to, nope, let me think about this one. This is the always, it just like evolves by itself. So I'm always like, I can get the first 2, but I'm always like, when I do it, it just kind of goes by itself. See, and I don't want it like this, because then it's upside down. Everything needs to be Like here, the ribbon pattern is right, but the tail pattern is wrong. So we've got to be really consistent. So give me a second. So pinch in, left to right, hand off, left to right, hand off. Okay. So I've just got to remember, how do I get, because right now if I go like this, I don't have a grasp on these. So let me remember what I did. I think, yes. So I had to flip it. So now I've got it. So 7.5 inches, transfer to left, 7 inches, transfer to the left, 7 inches, transfer to the left, okay? Then we're gonna flip it. So, no, I like totally forget. Hold on, it's always this last one. In, end. Gosh. It's not that. Oh, give me a second. I had it, and then I was trying to explain to you what I did. By taking it out and showing it, I just got to flip the bow around. Nope, it's not like that, because now our tails are upside down. Well, this one, give me a second. I hate doing this, because if I don't explain it and I just do it, I can do it. See, now they're all facing the same way. So they were, let me see if I can do this. So when I handed the last one over, I just had to twist it. And I'm on the opposite side. So I'm gonna try to do that again. So 7.5, 7, in, 7, whoop, try to make it straight. We're gonna go to the other side, right? And we're flipping it over. So now I'm on the back side of the bow. And now everything is the same. So I have my pumpkin loops on this side, pumpkin loops on this side. The whole thing goes right into the bow dabra. This is how you can make it without splicing it. And then we'll just put our dovetail edge on this side. So twist it. When you get to the tail, flip it over to the other side. And then everything will be right side up, just like that. It's gonna take some practice. So I'm sure you guys will be, just fast forward to the last part where I got it right. Okay, we are going to, I'm gonna use purple because the orange is too orange. I'm gonna lift everything up. We are going to drop our pipe cleaner in. You can use floral wire, zip tie. I just use pipe cleaners because it's better for your hand strength, for me anyway. And then I have my fluff board. Let me tilt it now. So we're on the right side. Smooth this off. Move this over. Okay, so 24 by 24 by 1 inch thick. You can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can get them in the pre-cut lumber section. They don't have to be all like inlaid like this. 1.5 inch to 2 inch screw in C-cut or C-hook goes right to the center. And then you're just gonna take your C-hook and run it right underneath a pipe cleaner, just like that. All it's gonna do is keep it from sliding completely off the board. And then to fluff, you're going to simply separate your tail from your loop, like so. Go to the other side. We're going to put our tail over here and our loop over here. The next one we're bringing down, we're going to put the loop over here, and we're going to stretch. There we go. Stuck on my C-hook way over here. Okay, opposite sides. Here's our loop, it's already over there. We're just going to move the tail over so that now we're alternating loop colors from tail colors as we bring each bundle down. Now, if I kept going, purple's all going to always stay here. So to break that up, I'm going to deviate from the pattern. So I'm just going to follow the rest. As long as what you do on the top matches what you do on the bottom, you'll be okay. You can change it. See, now we'll have our rest over here with our purple. And then make sure we have our loop over here and our tail over here. There we go. And then we're going to bring our purple back. And then purple, here's our tail, here's our loop, finishing off with here's our tail, our loop. I'm going to mix these up so they're on opposite sides. So I have all the tails clumped together, all the loops clumped together, and now what I want to do is I just want to lift the top two as I work these down. Top two. And then decide whatever you want. You know, do you want to see the purple come through? Would you rather see the rust in between? I kind of like the rust to the outside. And then I'll bring the gingham up through the center. It's actually going to just be right underneath the other two. Just like this. Okay, and then the last two at the bottom. So this is going to come up in between. And I'm going to have the rust come up right in between these two. Okay, now we're going to put all the curls back into our ribbon. Just running them through your fingers. Okay. Just like this. And if you're fine with your tails being the length they are, you know, now's a great opportunity if you wanted to trim your tails if they're a little too long, or you can wait till you get it on the wreath and then see how it comes out there. But there's your bow for this particular design. Taking it off the same way we put it on. And now we're going to go ahead and attach our sign. So I'm going to attach, super easy because Pam put the pattern of the wood right in here. So I'm just going to kind of, it's not really, I was going to say it's not really centered. So I'm going to use 1.5 millimeter metal hole punch. You can get that from Amazon. So I use the Beadsmith 1.5 millimeter. You can also go to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's in the jewelry department and get metal hole punch. Just don't go any larger than 2 millimeters. So I'm using 22 gauge floral wire to attach my sign. And it doesn't take an awful lot. We're just going to add that right in here. Make sure we've got an equal amount of wire. And then we're going to build or twist right over the hole about 5 times. And it's just going to kind of coil up on itself to give it a little bit of a base. We're going to go right in here. Same thing. Trying to get them even. Right over the center. We'll bring this back. And now we're going to add this right into our design. You can see that now you're going to start to see your color palette start to blend really well together. So I am going to look for my orange pipe cleaner from the center. I'm going to attach my sign. Of course, my wire was bent when I was trying to put it in, so it wasn't going in straight.
Not good.
No, it's never good. So I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to pull up some of my fabric mesh right here. I'm going to kind of seat my sign down in there a bit, right about there. 2 twists. I'm going to go over to the other side and repeat that process. So this one has our purple. Right on
Jane
there.
Rice, I love the colors.
I love purple and orange together. Pull our mesh kind of out right in here so we can get that seated right in there. Just like so. 2 simple twists. You can totally end the design here if you didn't want to add the bow, because you've got a great design base so far. And I think I might bring this one up. Might bring it over here. Might do the bow over here, because I kind of like that. Normally I always go to the left, so let's do this to the right, which means that all this fabric mesh needs to get tucked right underneath. We'll pull our bow down in a way, so this way when we go to add our bow, it doesn't sit on the mesh and float up. Try to find my pipe cleaner.
Dorothy, no, she didn't make the sign. Once again, earlier we said the sign is from Personalize It By Pam on Etsy. So you can go right to Etsy, type in Personalize It By Pam, all kind of together, and you should be able to find it on her shop.
So we're working with the pipe cleaner through all the layers of the mesh. So I've got one down. I want to make sure I keep all my tails in the same direction. I'm going to push this down so it's at the depth I need it to be. We're going to go ahead and twist just a couple times in case we need to make some adjustment. I wanted all my tails coming down, so I'm going to move these out of the way so that I can have all my ribbon tails cascading to the bottom. I'm going to open up our ribbon tails here. So they're kind of going straight up, straight down, whereas the loops kind of come off to the side. This purple gingham is very lightweight.
Yeah.
It's very lightweight. doesn't like to hold its shape. Okay. Bring these down. We'll go ahead and fluff our bow right underneath this. Pull the rest of my ribbon tails up and away. Trying to get this one tilly over here. Trying to get it to arc from the bottom. Okay, there's that. Now we're going to add a couple simple embellishments. Remember when we ran around the outside, we didn't really do much with the purple areas. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and add some purple eucalyptus. So I'm just going to break these into some picks. This is from Hobby Lobby. There's 3. 4, 5, and I kind of like this one. We'll add that one. So let's look. Some of these may be just a tad too long. So we're going to add in a little bit of purple eucalyptus right there. We're going to do this all the way around. We're kind of going to make our own little picks. We have this brown hops, so I'm going to use a pairing of the light and dark brown hops. That's going to go in here as well. We're going to add some yellow mums. These are from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to build this little pick on the outside of like what I want to work together. Just like this. Was that all I was going to put in there? Yes. So hang tight. The leaves, like this one, is so long. I'm going to move it so it works where I want it to be. Purple eucalyptus, a little bit of the hops. Hang tight. I'm not going to white because. Yeah. I found the black ones. The black might work better. Let me do the white one first. So I'm making my own little mini bundle like this. And then I'm going to be attaching this little bundle in around the outside. Just like this. So we're tying the florals in to the outside. So kind of had to cut my Dollar Tree pick down because there's always one that's super long. So I'm going to push this all the way up, pair this where I want it to be. We're going to take another pairing of our hops. So the hops is from Hobby Lobby, and that one came off. Let's just leave you on your little pick so you'll be happier and stay. Move these in. A little bit of our purple eucalyptus. black zip tie. These are little 6-inch zip ties.
Giles, can you see her board and everything? Because it shows on my end, you can see everything.
What was going on?
A couple of them said I can't see anything but your board. But you took your board away a long time
Oh,
ago.
yeah. I'm not even on the board.
So maybe give Facebook a minute or log out and log back in.
Yeah, I would log out and log back in. So we're going to add that bundle there. Not so pretty. It's kind of tying those golden colors down in here. So while I'm doing that, my glue gun is set to high.
Carol the Madsen, or Carol the wreath, I posted this wreath will be available online on her shop is the wreath she's making now.
I just don't have it listed yet.
Right.
So we're going to tuck that one in. See how it just, I love the color combinations on this. So sometimes you can't get bundles the way you want them to be. So sometimes you just kind of have to fashion your own little bundle yourself, like we're doing here. And I'm just using quite a bit of Gorilla Glue.
I love the colors.
Just opening up my fabric mesh, tucking that right on the inside so that we're pulling the same color palette down all the way through. And I promise you, if you guys are interested in purchasing this, normally I have it listed. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do right up until the very, very last minute. I was like, wait a minute. So let me do this. I'm going to use this one down at the bottom because I like the little squiggly pick for the bottoms. They just add some more character. So I'm going to do this one down here, right in here so you can see it better. So I'm going to remove the tall one right there. I'm going to put this one down in here. I'm going to remove my hops. So I'm just splicing them together. Just like this. It's funny, they're called hops, but I call them soft. They're soft plastic pine cones. I didn't realize that they had a name until I was putting everything together, looking up all the names of everything. Okay, zip tie this bunch together. And you guys know me, I'm notorious for making my own picks because generally I can't find what I want all together. So this glue will ensure that all the picks pieces stay together. Tuck that one in, right in there. Okay. Then we'll come back over to the other side where I was going to be working on that one right here because it's at the top. So I try to save all the really pretty stuff for where you can see it. So remember, cut the long one off, push your greenery for your mums up, then you'll recut your stem. Now I can pull my tag off. There's my hops, a little bit of our eucalyptus, grab a zip tie your bundle together. Yeah, that one, I felt it right when the zip tie snapped. I think that one did the exact same thing. Let's see. Yeah, it did. That's the second one. I'm destroying zip ties before I ever get them zipped. There we go. Nice and tight. Start that off. Let me move these ones so I don't reuse them in the process. Do another glue. So I always use the silicone little pad right over my glue so that if I need to, or it gets stuck, like I drip glue sometimes, then I can just scoop this off and then throw it back into my glue skillet. Okay, there's that one. We're gonna do this last one. Is this the last one? Purple polka dot, purple polka dot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Alrighty. Well, let's get to the hustle part. Okay, we're gonna do this one. I'm gonna work on the one with the bow on the end, under the bow actually. Here's my eucalyptus. We're gonna do a single flower. For this one, trying to get it in. I'm just going to snip the excess off. This one we're tucking in way under here. I know it seems pointless, but if I know it's there, then so will a customer. Okay, last one right here. Push this over. Let's get a fresh thing of hops because we have a bunch of pieces.
Like I said, I miss seeing you place the wreaths on your prop door. Out to your new home. We normally do it on Fridays, but this last Friday, Chet decided to do an overhead view because she thought it would benefit you guys more. So
yeah, so it always depends on the design.
Yeah.
So if the design is better suited for an overhead view, I will do an overhead view in lieu of the front view so that you can see what I'm doing. Because otherwise I get beat up on YouTube by people saying, I can't see what you're doing. You should go overhead. So I was like, okay.
But I should see your point too, because I know a lot of women and people like seeing it on the prop door.
Yeah, but I usually will post pictures the following morning of what it looks like once it's on the door. Okay. There we go. That's a little squiggle. So I think I'm gonna glue that squiggle in because it adds so much character. It's not much, but it just looks super cute. So all the way around, I'm gonna grab it by the bundle and I'm gonna tuck it right into my mesh. So we have that look there. Look how beautiful that looks. Just that simple little, instead of always, using ribbon, you can embellish around the outside. Let's add just a couple pieces. I'm trying to get my excess piece. Let's do a couple. I'm going to do one right here. I'm going to do one right up here, right around our outside. So let's use all the good, pretty stuff. So here's our hops. We're still going to end up having to cut the long one off because it's always just too long. it never sits where I want it to stay.
Yeah. Diane says this is a fabulous looking wreath. Love the colors.
Thank you. Let's add some eucalyptus. Let's do, grab the wrong one. I think I'm gonna add a couple small embellishments to the inside. So I am gonna be incorporating a couple pieces of delphinium, which is this plummy color. So I'm going to, as soon as I get it in past that mum leaf, let's bring the hops back to the front, like that. It's weird, I feel like I'm making a boutonniere. Okay, pipe cleaner, or not pipe cleaner, zip tie. I'm like, any time you want to zip right around that bundle, would be great. So look, isn't that pretty bundle? So we can add this right in here. Just like that. We'll take another delphinium. They just come on a little stem like this. I will add my hops. We'll take our last little piece of our mum. And of course I knew I was going to do that. Cut the one I didn't want off. Throw that away. Let's add our... Sometimes we can't get our leaves or florals all the way into the center because it doesn't go all the way to the center. So I need them a little bit closer to the center so that we can add what I want to add. And then
you also call the likes and the loves.
Our eucalyptus.
This is a public group too, so feel free to share this if you want.
I totally forgot. Thank you, Steve, for that reminder. Yes. So if you like this design and want to replicate it, just click the share button. As a beginner wreath maker, sometimes knowing where all those tutorials are or who you are watching can be downright difficult to figure out. So I think we're going to come in here.
And once we're done with the video, we'll try to get it up on YouTube as quick as we can.
I'm just going to try to get that one placed right in there. And then what do you guys think? Let me move all these off to the side so I can push this over.
Valerie, yes. This time she placed the sign pretty much right in the middle.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and actually attach my two bundles because I didn't do that. So doing the same way that we did the others. I want to make sure all of our flowers are equally represented. Trying to get the swoop in there the right way. Let's get this bundle under our sign. So mesh makes for a great place to hold everything. So this is just going right in here. It's kind of like a 3D extension of the florals on our sign. So when I flip them, these are kind of cascading out over our sign. And there you have it. I'm going to hold this up so you can actually see it. So give me just 1 second. Right there?
Yeah. Pull it down just a little bit. There you go, right there. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, because I'm always like cautious of the light, the above light. So this one's all done. This will be ready. It'll be in my shop. It's the only one I have. Literally, it's the only one because I am out of a lot of the ribbon and that sign. Don't have it. Of course, we can always make more, but the designs that I make are one-of-a-kind designs, so they're never made to be replicated. So I want you to kind of have a one-of-a-kind original. So there we are with this particular design. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions you guys have? Other than that, have an amazing middle of the week or middle of the month for August. I hope it cools down for some of you where you're at. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye for now.